podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not constitute professional advice. We make no representations or warranties regarding the accuracy, completeness, or applicability of the content. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Sustain Our Shelters podcast. I'm Rebekah Davis-Matthews. I'm a former animal shelter employee, a current kitten foster, and the founder of Sustain Our Shelters, a grassroots community organization working to help Silicon Valley shelters do better for both animals and the people who care about them. Today, we're taking a close look at an issue that affects neighborhoods all over the country, including right here in San Jose. Community cats and the role that Trap Neuter Return, or TNR, plays in improving outcomes for animals, residents, and shelters. If you've ever wondered why we see cats living outdoors, why the problem seems so persistent, or whether there's a humane solution, this episode will help unpack those questions. Let's get into it. First, we need to start by understanding the community cat challenge. Most people have seen them. Cats living outdoors in parks, behind grocery stores, near apartment complexes, or even under porches. These are community cats. They're not fully wild, but they aren't traditional pets either. They live somewhere in between, usually in small or large colonies. The challenge is that these cats reproduce incredibly fast. One unspayed female can have several litters per year, and each litter adds more cats to the colony. Before long, you have noise from mating behaviors, spraying, territorial fights, and a growing number of kittens entering already overcrowded shelters. For years, the common approach was to trap and remove cats, but this rarely worked. Once cats were removed, new cats simply moved into the empty space. This is known as the vacancy or vacuum effect, and it's been documented across many regions. Communities found themselves trapped in a cycle that never solved the root problem. So what is TNR and how does it work? Trap Neuter Return offers a humane alternative that focuses on stabilizing the cats who already live in an area. Here's what happens. Volunteers or animal control officers humanely trap outdoor cats. The cats are taken to a clinic, spayed or neutered, vaccinated, and ear-tipped, so people can recognize them as sterilized. Then the cats are returned to the exact place they were found. Returning the cats is crucial because it prevents new cats from moving in while stopping reproduction among the cats that remain. Most effective TNR programs also rely on colony caregivers. These are volunteers who offer food, monitor health, and remove kittens or socialized adults for adoption. Over time, the colony stabilizes instead of expanding. So what are the benefits for cat populations and animal welfare? Well, let's talk about what TNR does for the cats themselves. First, it reduces population size over time. Studies have shown significant declines with consistent TNR. For example, on a university campus, the population dropped more than 60% over 11 years, and no new kittens were born after the 4th year. Other long-term studies in Europe and the Bay Area show similar results. Second, sterilized cats tend to lead calmer and healthier lives. Neutered males fight and roam far less. Spayed females avoid the physical strain of constant pregnancy. Managed colonies experience fewer injuries, fewer infections, and better overall longevity. Vaccination during TNR also protects cats from illnesses such as rabies, which benefits both animals and humans. What are the benefits for human communities? Well, TNR doesn't just help cats, it also makes communities healthier and more livable. When fewer kittens are born outdoors, fewer kittens end up in shelters. That means shelters can focus more on adoptable animals rather than struggling with constant overload. Some counties have seen euthanasia rates fall dramatically after implementing strong TNR programs. TNR also reduces nuisance behaviors residents often complain about, such as nighttime yowling, spraying, and loud fights. Sterilized cats are quieter, calmer, and easier for neighbors to live peacefully alongside. And finally, TNR improves public health. Rabies vaccinations reduce disease risks. Stable colonies monitored by caretakers reduce scavenging behavior and keep populations predictable and controlled. So what happens without TNR? Without TNR, communities face rapid and often overwhelming population growth. More cats mean more kittens, more shelter crowding, more nuisance behavior, and more wildlife impact. If cats are simply removed without sterilization, new cats move in to take advantage of food sources and shelter, restarting the cycle. This is why trap and remove approaches almost always fail in the long run. In short, choosing not to implement TNR isn't neutral. It leads to rising costs, increased complaints, and worse conditions for animals. So what makes TNR successful? Research shows that successful TNR programs rely on strong community involvement. Volunteers, animal shelters, veterinarians, and local governments all play important roles. Equally important is removing friendly cats and kittens for adoption. This is one of the fastest ways to reduce further reproduction. And in areas where wildlife habitats are sensitive or protected, TNR programs may need additional strategies such as relocation or public education about keeping pet cats indoors. Effective programs aren't just about trapping and fixing. They're about long-term humane management backed by reliable data, monitoring, and community support. So here's a Bay Area case example. Right here in the Bay Area, targeted TNR efforts have shown real results. A peer-reviewed study found that in neighborhoods where TNR was applied consistently, shelters saw fewer incoming cats and fewer kittens from those specific areas. This tells us something important. Even in urban regions with high density and ongoing challenges, well-organized TNR can create measurable improvement. In closing, Trap Neuter Return offers a humane, effective, and community-centered approach to managing outdoor cat populations. It reduces shelter strain, improves public health, decreases nuisance behavior, and gives outdoor cats a better quality of life. As someone who has worked inside shelters and continues to foster vulnerable kittens, I've seen firsthand how essential TNR is to keeping both animals and communities healthier. If you'd like to get involved, you can volunteer with local TNR groups, foster kittens, donate to spay and neuter programs, or advocate for humane policy changes in your city. Thank you for spending time with me today. If this conversation resonated with you, please share the episode, leave a review, and subscribe for future discussions on community-based animal welfare. Take care of yourselves, care for your neighbors, and keep pushing for solutions that help both people and animals thrive. The Sustain Our Shelters podcast is hosted by Rebekah Davis-Matthews and edited by Rebekah Davis-Matthews. Copyright 2025 Sustain Our Shelters. All rights reserved.